brought up digital assets or XRP in particular and had a lot. Have you ever been in a conversation and brought up digital assets or XRP in particular and had a lot of pushback from the other person? And they're like, well, nobody's ever going to adopt that. Like, what does that even do? Well, that's what we're going to break down in this video, and how you can talk to them and give them real world examples of what this is actually going to change and how it's going to affect their life.
Tinker,
so they can better understand
where are you?
why this is a good investment.
Hello, darling.
We've all been there. We've all had a conversation with somebody that didn't go the way that we thought it was going to. You were super excited. You found this new technology. You think it's going to be revolutionary. It's going to change the world. It's going to change how value and money is exchanged. And so you obviously dumped your life savings into it. Not financial advice. I'm just kidding. But you make an investment. You're excited about it. You put some money into it, and you take it to a friend or relative or a mentor or somebody else in your network that you think would probably benefit from making the investment as well. And so you start talking to them about Ripple and XRP and XLM and these other digital assets, and maybe it's Bitcoin, whatever it is, but it's moving value. And you try to break it down into simple terms for them, but maybe they just don't get it. And so I'm going to give you some real world examples of ways that I talk to high net worth individuals and break this down simply for people so that they can understand it and how it's actually going to affect commerce and money that moves globally. Most of the time, when I'm having a conversation with somebody, and it doesn't matter their age on this one, I'll ask if they use a payment app. And inevitably, they use PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, Wise if they're international. There's a bunch of these applications on your phone where you can do a peer-to-peer payment with somebody else. Zelle is another one. The way that that money moves through that account will show them how this is going to change things. So I'll ask them, do you use these? They inevitably say yes. And I'll say, okay. And when you get payment from somebody else in that application, you have two options. And they'll say yes. And I say, okay, so and those two options are, instant, and that costs you some money to move it to your bank account and they'll pre-fund it. Or if you want to wait 2 or 3 days, it sells for free. And they'll say, yeah. And I say, okay, well, what if it could be instant for free? Would you do it like that? And what if you could send money from PayPal to Cash App, or PayPal to Venmo, or Zelle to Cash App? Wouldn't that be nice? And they'll be like, yeah, well, both those things sound great. That's what this does. It allows those siloed ecosystems to talk to one another. It's a protocol that allows for interoperability between payment processors. And it's an agnostic asset that settles real time for fractions of a penny when moving value. That's all Hyperledger and the XRPL and some of these other digital assets, the infrastructure and what they provide. You need KYC and you need a bunch of the other regulatory components in order to be able to do that. And you can get into the nuance of ISO 20022 and the messaging and all those things. Most people don't care about that in reality. It's really just, how's this going to change my life and what's it going to do for me to improve things? Another corollary that I like to make for people is email, especially for people that are 45 or older. They probably remember sending letters when they were young to their friends or family. People, had fax machines back in the 80s. But before that, most messages were sent via postal. And at that time, it cost you some money to buy stamps, and it took 2 to 5 days for it to settle or get there, right? And then you had the advent of the internet, and you had email. And even when the email first started, you could only communicate with people in your siloed ecosystem. Just like it is today, you can only send money to people for PayPal and only send money for people to pay Venmo.
Is anybody finding this interesting? Let me just double check. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's Monday, the 14th of July, 2025. And Space Damie's here, coming to you live from the south coast of England. And Tinker, I tried to leave him in the other room, but he decided to come and find me. I couldn't have picked... Speak of the devil. I left you in the other room because you are just too tinkery, mister. What can I do? I was trying to put him in the other room and have him have a quiet time because he's just into everything and he should be going to sleep. He came to find me and has gone all around the houses in order to get to where we are. And now he's going to want to jump on the keyboard. I don't know what to do. I don't know how you train budgerigars. Anyway, it's a very exciting day today. Good evening and welcome. I know this guy was talking about XRP and stuff, and maybe it's a bit boring. It might be a bit much, but to the XRP army, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I told you. I feel vindicated today. Today feels like a vindication day of a sort. And it's the 14th of July, and I tell you what, it's very it's quite exciting. I'm trying to find things, and I can't find them anymore. I mean, I should probably just fire myself, don't you think? Anyway, he was talking about crypto, right? How to explain it to people, but I think it might be a bit too late. Is it too late? No, it's not really, actually. Oh, it is. Look, let's face it. Everybody out there, put a 1 in the chat if whenever you've mentioned crypto to anybody out of your loved ones or friends, the response, let's go, I would say, initial response from everybody you mention it to, if you dare to mention it, is one of almost like sucking on a lemon and then rejection out of hand. And, then them telling you what they don't know, as if, I mean, anyway. Did I give you a number to give? So we've got tonight. I do believe we have Rumble in the house. We have Base Tea. Good evening to you, Skillful Larkin City Flyer. Love to see you. My apologies to my regular Rumble viewers. I'm afraid I sort of them telling. Oh, hello. There was a miscue last night on the programming, and unfortunately Rumble didn't get included. We have Foxhole, we have DLive, we have Kick, YouTube in the background, and of course DLive. So yeah, I'm sorry, my head is all over the place because in case you hadn't known, today is Crypto Week according to the US Congress. Crypto is slightly sort of it's done quite a move. We actually have a market cap of $3.74 trillion. I mean, Bitcoin went a bit mad. I think it got up to $122,000 or $123,000 overnight. XRP, we did breach the $3 barrier, made it to 302 for a nanosecond, and then it flicked back, and we got 301, and then 3, and then not. So now we're at $2.90, very healthy. And of course, my excitement leading up to today was the expectation that FedWire, or FedNow, went live as of midnight last night in the USA. And I generally thought that was going to just explode everything. Nobody knows, right? Understand this. We are in totally uncharted territory when it comes to the world of finance. Okay, it's transforming quietly behind the scenes, and it is just amazing that we are where we are today because it's now coming to the fore. We are the pioneers. Us XRP crew. And, the ISO 20022 cryptos that I've mentioned just a few times are doing very well. Now, let me think. Early on in my bookmark, don't look at the screen right now. Early on in my bookmarks today, let's see, is it this one? No. Somebody happened to mention how all the ISO 20022 crypto compliance, the cryptos that are compliant with that standard, were doing, and it is quite impressive. Although, having said that, now I did have a page up that I'd had bookmarked, but doesn't seem to be here anymore, and it was telling us that pretty much the percentages that they all went up. Hold on. And it's just amazing. It's amazing. I'm feeling a little bit punch drunk. Luckily, I'm not really drunk for you lot because, I mean, it's bad enough when I'm sober and trying to get a show sorted. But just imagine after a couple of little tipples that it just would not be pretty. It wouldn't be pretty. I mean, normally it's a bit of a car crash. This would be an absolute motorway pileup, the equivalent of. And now Tinker is nipping at my finger. Would you mind? Yeah, what are you doing to yourself? What are all these, why are you, your downy feathers are coming out. Stop it. Anyway, very exciting times. Right, we're going to do crypto news right now. That's what I'm going to do right now. I'm doing crypto. So if you're tuning in for anything else, it's a very, very, very intriguing day. I will check in a moment. I will check the chat in a moment to acknowledge you all. But right now, it's Crypto Week. That's going to be my main topic to begin with. It's President Trump's 174th day in office, and the breaking news. I mean, oh my Lord. This week is our vindication. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall be vindicated. People will be talking, well, they probably won't be talking crypto. What am I talking about now? But today, just not long before I came on, oh good, I'm glad you enjoyed this morning's show. Thank you, Wade the Page, for being there. Thank you for your links. I really appreciate that, honestly. Your support has been fantastic, and I'm glad you enjoyed it this morning. And since this morning, just at about, well, it was about 3 hours ago, this dropped, where the Federal Reserve, the FDIC, and the OCC released a joint statement giving a green light for banks to custody crypto. What the? Yes, he has gone on my head. Don't worry about it. You're not hallucinating. Oh, there was a budgerigar on my baseball cap, and there's not much I can do about it unless I go and shut him in his cage, which he doesn't really like to do. Anyway, really exciting stuff. Federal Reserve. I mean, talk about, oh my God. I mean, look, we know, right? Donald Trump has brought crypto out from the darkness, and it's brought to the forefront, and it's almost like on steroids, this whole crypto space. It has been fuddling about for, and that is a genuine expression. It's a legitimate expression. It's been fuddling about for, let me see, let me just look at this, all time. Look at this. Look what we've gone through. That is what we've been just poodling about, and we had a little bit of a, a whole 4 years ago. 2021 was really the last excitement we had. And then we went, oh my days, no, but crypto's, no, really, crypto, no. And then, hello, look at this. Look at that. This is from November of last year. This is where we've come. We've come alive. And we're coming alive as we speak in real time. It is just truly astonishing. It's wonderful. I'm not, it hasn't happened, but I feel like we've broken the ice. We've smashed through the ice wall. And I'm trying to find all my crypto stuff. Let me do this, right? See, I'm a little bit, I've got like one hand tied behind my back. I might as well, with having the bird on my hand. What can I say? He doesn't want to leave me. All I gotta do, it's tough enough with two hands, let alone one bloody hand. Hang on, when we're going here. Oh, I know. Anyway, I did have everything lined up, and now it's all gone somewhere. It's very exciting. Who's excited? Put it in the chat. Come on, I want to see who's excited. Now it says 289. That's not the latest, I don't think. That was just that eToro. Doesn't have a timestamp on that. I don't believe. Oh, it is 289. Look. I'm not really, honestly. That's amazing, really. Not enough for Birdshot Island, but getting there. We're getting there. Step by step. Right, let me get to the right page where I was. Okay, so the Federal Reserve released a document outlining the regulations for banks to operate with crypto. I mean, it was a dirty word, wasn't it? Crypto. You mentioned crypto, and it was as though you just swore your head off. You know, people turned their nose up. They rejected out of hand. And now suddenly, what used to be a bad smell has suddenly turned into the most divine aroma that God and heaven above created. Suddenly it's all acceptable. It's just amazing. Honestly, it's a bit like being the sort of unpopular child. Not that I'm familiar with that at all, but you know, unpopular in the classroom. Nobody wants to talk to you, and then suddenly you come in one day, I don't know, with a bunch of sweets, and everybody loves you. Got the bee's knees. Beach Bear's in the house. Good evening to you, Beach Bear. Base T is in the house. Thank you, Base T. And I do have to read out Wayne the Pains. Hello, beautiful Amy. Great show this morning. Well, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Foxhole's a little bit quiet. I don't know what happened to our Quantum, who wants Virgin Island and XRP to come through. I don't know what happened. I'm hoping she's okay. Quantum Spawn? Anyway. This is so exciting. I need to calm down. It means that crypto can be looked at. Banks have been given the green light to deal in crypto. The Office of the Comptroller of the Currency, the OCC, Board of Governors of the Federal Reserve System and Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, FDIC. Collectively, the agencies, the Board of the Federal Reserve, are issuing a statement for banking organizations that provide or are considering providing safekeeping for crypto assets. What? We have been legitimized. We are legit, baby. We are the new asset class. We really are. And with the American market giving the go-ahead, that just gives, there's been like a dam, and the dam is being breached. Oh, I gotta stay calm. It's just amazing. It's amazing. So anyway, so they've been given the green light. You know, pretty much, giving the advice is that they just have to make sure that they know, appreciate what the technology is, and the whole thing with the secret keys, the custody, and it's amazing. Enables them to treat them as any other asset. The time for XRP is coming. This is just wow. And apparently 2 hours ago, 10 million XRP was transferred. South Korea's top exchange, Corbit, just moved nearly 10 million XRP in a single transaction. All in XRP, no stablecoins, no USD, just pure XRP. Look at that. You know, it's going to be reflected soon. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. We're dropping. I mean, with all this news coming in from it being crypto week. Now today there was supposed. Let me just show you what was going to be discussed this week for crypto. All right. Yeah, this is the screenshot from this morning, 3:02. So today the House Rules Committee is supposed to meet to consider the Clarity Act, the Genius Act, and the Anti-CBDC Surveillance Act. And then tomorrow, the full House is expected to begin voting on all 3 bills. I mean, acceleration of what? And then the Senate Agriculture Committee also holds a hearing on market structure that day, so tomorrow. Now, I don't know, I haven't had a chance to check the events in the Congress or in the House to see if Maxine Waters has managed to throw a spanner in the works, because she was promising, of course, to do that, to put it, just Orange Man bad, Trump bad, crypto bad, try to put a break on proceedings. But, something tells me she's not going to be able to do it. I think the momentum in our favor is probably going to not even have her blip. So, and then on Wednesday, the House Ways and Means Committee covers crypto taxation, not directly part of the 3 bills, but part of a broader crypto agenda. And then on Friday, if the Genius Act passes tomorrow, the House may move forward with its passage to the President. Now, the Clarity Act, the full name of it is the Blockchain Regulatory Certainty Act, Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act. Sorry, the Clarity for Payment Stablecoins Act, named very slightly depending on the drafts. So the purpose is to define when blockchain developers, miners, node operators, and wallet providers are not considered financial institutions under the law. Provides clear exemption from money transmitter licensing if you don't take custody of customers' funds, and for stablecoins it sets issuer rules, i.e. one-to-one reserves, monthly attestations, and bankruptcy segregation. So the key features: developers, operators are not regulated as banks. The developers, they're not to be regulated like banks as though they're banks. Stablecoin issuers must hold 100% fiat or cash equivalent reserves. So no more, what's it called? No more fractional. Was it fractional reserve, fractional banking, whatever the hell it's called? The whole nonsense of being able to divide something into 1,000 trillion pieces and just use it all up beyond. Anyway, so fractional reserve, is it banking? Anyway, stablecoin is with federal preemption. Federal licensing could override conflicting state regimes, and it matters to protect open source and decentralized developers from being swept into money laundering or bank regulations, and it sets basic US standards for payment stablecoins to compete with foreign frameworks like the EU MiCA. The Genius Act, the full name is the Government and Private Sector Unified Standards Act, and the purpose for that is to mandate federal agencies standardize crypto definitions, accounting treatment, and disclosures, and it requires the Treasury, SEC, CFTC, and the IRS to adopt harmonized terminology and rules, because what happened up until this legislation has gone through is that we've had the SEC saying one thing, CFTC saying another, and in the middle nobody knew what the hell anything was or how it was to be treated. But of course the SEC was doing enforcement through regulations through enforcement or some such nonsense, where they were doing it backwards. There are no regulations in place, and so the SEC just treated everything as though it's a security, which is dealt with very differently to commodities, and it just created an absolute hellhole for this space. Anyway, So and the terms, obviously, whether it's a commodity or security, are very important just to do with all kind of the clarity of how things are dealt with, so that people aren't accused of not having the right paperwork or following the right rules. And so they're going to have one government glossary, one set of terms, so that it's clear rules of the road, which is just what is needed. And this is what's put everybody off dealing with it beforehand, understandably so, to be honest. So it sets the timelines for agencies to align reporting rules and reduces duplication. Directs the Government Accountability Office to study cross-border crypto transaction risks. And it obviously matters to seek the end to patchwork of contradictory federal agency approaches, as I just elucidated. No, that's not it. Anyway, popular with industry because it could lower compliance costs and is seen as a pro-business move, but with new auditing and study requirements. And obviously the Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act. I'll tell you what, I saw a video earlier today involving China. I haven't watched much to do with events in China, to be honest with you. I didn't realize how many people could film there. And one video in particular this hit home to me, the surveillance stuff. I mean, it was, well, I'll reference it to you in a minute. So it bans the Federal Reserve from issuing a retail central bank digital currency directly to Americans. And it stops the Fed from using a CBDC to track or control individual spending, which is pretty much what we understand is it goes on in places like China. The key features: it prohibits the Fed from offering accounts or wallets to individuals, bars any CBDC design that allows surveillance of transactions beyond existing cash, bank, or bank rules. Exempts wholesale CBDCs for bank-to-bank settlement research, and it matters obviously because it responds to privacy and surveillance concerns seen as limiting the Fed's role in retail payments, and it's popular with many Republicans and some, well, it should be popular with all civil liberties groups. There shouldn't be a single so-called civil liberty group that's not bothered about that particular thing. And as you can see, Mr. Tinkertoo has quietly, he's expended all his energy and he's now snoozing on my hand. Really? Why can't you just sit on a perch? I mean, you're limiting me to one. What do you do? What can I do? I did not tell me you could be here. Wait a minute. Yum wallet? I don't call it a yum. I call it a Zaman wallet. Yum. I don't know what. Yum yum. Anyway. All right. So the timetable, of course, I read out the timetable for this week. This week, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Not next week, not next month, not next year, not sometime in the future. It is going on this week. Oh. So now, of course, there's important context, and we all need to take a chill pill because, remember, these are House bills. Even if they pass the House, they need Senate approval and, of course, the President's signature to become law. The Senate Demon Rats have signaled mixed support, especially on the anti-CBDC bill. What a surprise. Quelle surprise. Oh, the COVID jib-jab passports, pro people. Why? What a surprise that they want to have a CBDC digital currency thingamajig monitoring. Anyway, so we got that. This is on my website, which I do believe I've published today's content for crypto. So this, if you want to go over anything or further reference, you can just go to my website, basedamy.com, and under the Crypto Week title heading, you will find all of this good stuff. Very interesting. Now, this young man, I may just play this video for you now. Yeah, I'm going to play this video for you now because he explains things, I would say, just a lot more efficiently than I do.
Welcome back, everybody. It's officially Crypto Week, and in this video, I just want to talk at you guys for a few minutes here and give my thoughts, my expectations. So this has been deemed Crypto Week by Donald Trump and by a lot of the people heading up the crypto side in the United States. Obviously, we've got a massive crypto pump leading up here to Crypto Week, but we've got three main things on the table. I'm going to break down all of them for you guys in this video, and this is what we're going to be looking out for all week long in terms of any news related to any of this. And we have to start at the top. By the way, hit the like button, subscribe. I want everybody to get this, concise video. Just get it out there to as many people as we can. So help us out by hitting the like button, subscribe.
Wait a minute.
Engage in the comments too. Give us your.
Actually, if he's going to talk about what I just spoke about and what I've just read out, this was not the one that I thought was good. I think he's just about to go over them all. In fact, this wasn't the one. Sorry, my apologies, ladies and gentlemen. It's actually the one he did before, where he was talking about the, the ISO 20022 cryptos, which, as you know, how long have I been going on about those? Huh? How long? Here it is.
XRP, XLM, Algorand, and Cardano all topped the list for the ISO 22 list for the Fedwire shift. And in this video, we're going to talk about exactly what that means in terms of cross-border payments. This news just came down actually today to start the week. We are seeing American-based cryptos actually make a big jump here. That includes XLM, HBAR, XRP, Cardano had a nice little pop as well. XLM leading the way. And this is something we saw back in late 2024 when Trump got reelected. We saw the American US-based cryptos, the ones that have been around, since 2017, 2018. These are the altcoins that pumped the hardest. Obviously, SWI had a big jump as well. That's a newer US-based crypto. Solana had its run already. But these ISO-compliant cryptos, and we'll give you the full list later on in the video, these are going to be ones to watch as the big banks come into crypto. And how they're going to be utilized is going to be something we're going to watch as well. Already we're seeing XRP, Ripple's technology, being used in the Middle East, in Asia. Same thing could be said for XLM. But now with finally, US regulations catching up to the rest of the world, this is going to be, I think, a big narrative over the next 6 to 12 months as we await kind of full altcoin season. So we'll take a look at the overall market. We'll take a look at this top news story, give you guys some thoughts, generally kind of what's going on with XRP, XLM, Algorand, and some more assets as well. So go ahead and hit the like button right now, guys. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to first start just over on CoinMarketCap. Take a look at this, guys. It is absolutely crazy. Bitcoin is at $122,000 right now. We've been as high as $123,000 in the last 24 hours. Just in the last 7 days alone, Bitcoin is up 12.5%. In the last month here, about 16%. May not sound like a ton, but in order to move a multi-trillion-dollar asset, it's kind of crazy to see this thing up 12% in a few short days. Now, something I wanted to show you guys before we get into the top story about the ISO compliant plays. If we go to the world's top market cap companies list, Bitcoin is absolutely skyrocketing up this list. All right, so you've got Nvidia at 4 trillion, Microsoft at 3.7 trillion, Apple up here at 3.1 trillion, Amazon is 2.38 trillion, and Bitcoin now is 2.42, meaning Bitcoin has surpassed Amazon on this list. It is the
I just say apparently they're calling Brad Garlinghouse the Steve Jobs, right, of crypto. Anyway, I did. I was going to play this, but I've put the links to this in the chat. He just basically goes over the ISO 20022 tokens and really sort of mentions the, pretty much what they all do. In fact, this is good right here. Let me just do this from this point here.
Saying it's a stable coin, it doesn't move. And then what happened? It went from 50 cents to $3 in a 6-week stretch when Donald Trump got reelected. Because why? Because it's the biggest US-based crypto, right? It's the biggest US-based crypto by market cap. And that speculation with Trump getting in boosted the price all the way up to $3 and beyond. Cardano's in the spotlight as well. And their big analyst, Dan Gambardello, I've met him a couple times at conferences. He's the biggest Cardano influencer out there. He emphasized that Cardano is among the few fully compliant blockchains as well. It's decentralized. It's able to scale quickly. One great thing about Cardano too, it's never went down. It's never had any downtime. So it's super secure as well. So I do think we can see a Cardano rally. We are still significantly down from all-time highs. Then you've got Stellar, XLM, Algorand, Quant, HBAR. Algorand's praised for its energy efficient and institutional grade performance. There are a lot of countries using it for CBDC development as well. That's a central bank digital currency. Quant is connecting legacy systems with blockchain systems, key player in financial network interoperability. And then Stellar, unlike XRP where it's used by the big banks and institutions, this could be used for cross-border payments among us, regular people, right? So this is going to be another one to watch. XRP and XLM together are my two favorites. Then I like Algorand and HBAR. That's just kind of the way I...
So these are all the compliant ones. These are all the ones that are going to be relevant to what has happened to date that's gone live. And, obviously the information about them all as to whether that they're all involved with shifting money in some form or other, as far as I can tell. Now, what I wanted to play for you a little bit, hang on, no, that's not it. I just want to show you a couple of videos Oh yeah, wait a minute. I was going to show you. First of all, I do want to show you this thing about China, which was just really disconcerting. I hadn't seen it before, and you know the whole thing with China. I know I'm not actually going to be. I'm not as bad as I'm going to say, right? But to be honest with you, I really wasn't sure how China operated as far as how the people went about their business. You know, I'd heard I'd seen the video clips of people being, you know, having their faces scanned and stuff, but there's, anyway, I just stumbled across a video by this man he's called Spanian or Spanian. I have no idea who he is. I just had, what I saw was the heading, which was inside the world's most advanced city. And of course, it's Shenzhen, China. Now, this man is Australian, and he has a certain style which doesn't, you know, he seems quite nice, right? But he has a few things where he tends to use phrases and words on a repetitive level, which I don't particularly care for. However, what my key takeaway was with this place is that it is, people need to pay attention to what's happened in China and see how far advanced they are with regards to implementing this tech in everyday life. Now, Shenzhen is apparently the third largest city in China. It is the top, the most, it's like the Silicon Valley. It's actually referred to as the Silicon Valley of the world. So it is the tech city. And it's chilling. It's chilling. And I don't know, you know, Donald Trump is, of course, all this pro-AI and, you know, this is unnerving. So anyway, so he goes to the hotel. He checks into this hotel, this Australian blogger. He's got 1 million viewers, which is amazing, followers. And here's a robot going to make him a bloody coffee, right? So what's this coffee machine? What's this coffee make?
Show me this. I don't know what it says, but let's assume that's Alipay. Yes, it is.
Oh yeah, in China there's no cash at all, nothing. There's no cash in existence. It's all Alipay. Everything is or WeChat or Alipay. Those are the apps that are used to purchase everything. Everything.
By the way, I'll tell you about the payment system in China. There's no money here. It's all apps and...
Sorry, I forgot. I didn't realize this is when he said it. My apologies. I didn't take notes. I just remembered some of the things he said.
Wireless, but we'll get to that.
Oh, please.
28 yuan. Let's Oj, brother. Show me this robot latte art. 100... Eh? Brother, he's going hard. Both hands, lad. Look at him. Hello, mate. How are ya? You speak?
Nope.
You're just sussing me out, are ya? I want to see how good he makes this little pattern.
Don't get too excited because he sucks.
There's the shot.
Can you imagine?
Double shots. Now he's cleaning it. How crazy is this? You come from the airport, you got robots making your coffee, cuz. The frothed milk. Hey, look, you're shaking it. Here we go. Oh, bro, look at this.
Oh, bro, cuz, bro, cuz.
Look at him, cuz.
Cuz. I don't know if this bro, cuz, bro. Hasbro, not good.
Alright, here we go. There's my latte. I don't know how good the artistic piece ended up. It ended up all just morphed into one, but anyway. More important is how good it tastes, right? That's the important thing. Did Robnos make a good tasting latte? That's what's important.
Right. No.
Robot latte, brother. This is my morning coffee, cuz. Let's see how it goes.
Brother, cuz, bro. I suppose the tattoos should sort of give some of it away. I know I'm being mean, alright? It's just me. My boomer age gives me away. Tinker, please stop nipping at me. Anyway,
It's all right.
It's all right.
It's nice. It's normal coffee, cuz. It's not anything special. There's not anything wrong with it.
Look at this hotel. Remember how the Western so-called leaders and the organizations, how they sell China, suggesting it's a third world country, you know, it needs help, it needs to be supported because it's literally, what do they call it? Developing. Developing countries. What? Hang on a minute. Thank God Donald Trump came in and put a paid to that. But anyway, so he does that. He comes outside. Now, this is supposed to be like the third most populous city in China. Where is it? I think everybody's left. I think everybody's left because of all the surveillance. It is horrible.
Hi, everything is paid through apps. There's a couple apps. I use the one called Alipay. So you put you in there, your identity's in there, your bank account's in there, and every single thing you pay for, I'm talking about this place being 99.6% cashless. And everything that you pay for, I'll give you a look on the phone now. You either produce your own barcode or you scan someone else's barcode. It doesn't matter if I want to give you $5. You pull your phone out, you produce a barcode, I scan it and it sends you $5. I could go to the shop and buy a coffee, I could buy a PlayStation, I could buy a car. Everything is done like that. You produce your own QR code and it gets scanned and it's just automatic. So that's how all payments are. I'll give you a look, say that's Alipay.
No.
And it comes up like that and you can either scan and then you just go around scanning things like that and it pays for anything. Like you walk up to a street vendor and you scan his sign, you scan like, you know, at boards, or you can produce your own barcode and you get scanned. But more to the point of why I'm saying that is not to really, that's good that I explain to you how I'm paying things for all day, because you're going to see me scanning things with my phone.
Anyway, obviously this is all crypto based, right? Digital based and digital something. So it's all in place. I mean, it's all there. I mean, they're well ahead of the game. But the really thing that was really freaky, of course, is because everything's paid for digitally. There are cameras everywhere, everywhere, every square inch. Every movement of every individual is tracked in this city.
Just came down from the hotel. This is a drone delivery system. Look. So drones, that's the drone that delivers stuff. Delivers you these KFC, Bang, Gongcha. So it's telling you how to do it. This is just everywhere. I'm so glad that we've seen this just here, because I could come here and there could be one drone system and then on the other side of town is this one robot that makes coffee, and I could go and film them. Like I could seek them all out and combine them together and give you the impression that all of it is just everywhere. Do you get what I mean? Just because there's one. This is legitimately everywhere. It's right underneath a hotel. That's our hotel. So we've checked into the hotel now. I haven't even started the video. There's already robots serving either food or coffee. The surveillance system is even there, right behind us. It's everywhere, photographing everything. And the very first corner that we come to is a drone delivery system. So it's safe to say if it's here right underneath our hotel, there's a lot of them. Do you get what I mean? But the thing is, we wouldn't be able to use it. This is why we need Stephen. So even though, look, there's another one there. There's two of them on one intersection. But yeah, we wouldn't be able to use this because to use these things, I'm pretty sure you have to be a citizen, a registered citizen. Look, say.
So anyway, it's a registered citizen has to do. But look, you know what? How they try to tell us in the States, right? I know in the States and in other, they talk about this kind of thing as if it's futuristic, as if it's not been implemented yet. But in this city in China, they have drone delivery. He had a tea delivered to him from that machine. The guide ordered him a cup of bloody tea, and it was delivered by drone. So, you know, of course, this is the CBDC world, because he went with this guy, this was his guide, and, you know, they went on the underground, everything is scanned, I mean, it's just, I don't know, seeing it in practice, because you obviously hear about it, is disconcerting. But then that was one of the reasons why no to CBDCs, because I know that in this city, that Shenzhen, when you hear about people being like in a traffic light system with regards to their finances, and you know, if they've said something wrong, if it's something okay. Anyway, I'm going to let this play. I'm going to put Tinker in the other room because really he's being just so cantankerous that I cannot have him do this and concentrate with you. So if you don't mind, I'll stop talking and I'll start playing this a little bit so you could watch it.
No. Hey, are iPhones popular here?
Yeah, very popular.
Oh, they're popular?
Okay, I'm not going to do him shopping because that's just nonsense. Let's go the... Look at this, right? He's coming up to a drinks machine.
The floor with platforms left and right. Yeah, this is the top of the main part. If we can catch number 11 from here?
Yep.
All right, beautiful. Bro, it's massive. So this machine scans your face.
So like you want waters or you want coke?
Yeah.
Tea or whatever you want?
Yeah, get a water, yeah.
Okay, water.
Yeah.
And scan your face.
Scan your... Oh, wow.
My face.
It just scans your face.
And down and just yes pay.
That's crazy. That's so quick. Wow, so it just scans your face and your face is in your WeChat
WeChat or Alipay.
or Alipay.
Yeah, whatever.
Wow, so you don't even need your phone. So if you have no phone or your flat battery, you can still just buy food and...
Yes.
Wow.
Another thing. Korea. Pepsi.
So you scan the face, little scan the face line.
Detective.
Bro, the stuff is cheap. 450 yuan,
Yeah.
but that's like $1.
Yeah, Aussie. Yeah,
Aussie,
yeah.
$1. Stuff's cheap here, bro.
If you wash it,
That's $5 in Australia, Aussie.
yeah,
That,
no.
$5, yeah, for sure. It's $1. That's crazy. Face scanning. Just walk up to the machine, scans your face. And shops also have that, like 7-Eleven and stuff.
They use different one. They use the palm.
Oh, they use palm scan.
Maybe barcode scan.
Oh, okay, yep. All right, so some's face, some's palm.
But that's automatic machines.
Yeah. Oh, so they scan your face as well. Obviously, it's not gonna let me in. Yeah. Boom. Hello. So you upload your ID card there,
Yeah, like it.
and then you don't need any more tickets. Just scan your face. Yeah. And that's how you do it. So if you go to one of those machines once and upload your ID card, it'll never register your face, and then you can just walk up to it and then just go boom and walk through. Bro, look at the cameras, guys. Imagine when you're full integrated in the system though, of just like face and hands, and you're never actually purchasing a thing. You're just like looking, showing your hand, showing your face, walking straight through train stations, straight through anything. All right, line 11. We're going, catching line 11. We'll go downtown.
This is where he has no, I mean, he thinks it's sort of freaking him out, but he doesn't appreciate the sinister aspect. So basically, if you've said the wrong thing, you try to scan your face and it won't give you the green light to go ahead. You won't be able to travel. Maybe that's why it's so quiet, because nobody's allowed out. I mean, it's not funny. It's not funny. It's really dystopian, and this man is it's as though he's a kid in a candy shop. He has no concept. He has no concept of the Big Brother watch. I mean, he does about the watching because he mentions how many cameras there are everywhere, and his guide told him that somebody could leave a piece of jewelry on a bench for days or months and come back and expect to find it there, of course, because thanks to the surveillance state, nobody would dare take it because they'd be caught. I mean, so crime's very low, which is great, but anyway, so he's sort of seeing this in the sort of the eyes of a child in wonder to do with science. Yeah.
And find one of these autonomous taxis. This area here, business class. All right, so these trains, they have at the start of them, down one end, about two carriages that are business class. See, it's like extra fenced off. So you'll be like another extra payment to come through. Oh, that's mad. See how down there was full flat out land and we just come, a little business room, of course. That's mad though. Ordinary public transport has like a business class option. And look how there's so many less people here. Look at that. That's mad. We'll see what it's like inside, lads. Let's go. This one's got seats. Remember the other one didn't even have seats. They were all standing. I don't mind standing, but it's good. This one's got corporate. It's corporate. Let's say it. Oh, look how busy it is there. look how much, bro, it's cool in here.
He's a bit childish, isn't he? He's very immature. But anyway, so now we're going to see him in the autonomous taxi. And again, right, here's the driverless taxi.
China, lad. Taxis that you order, your little robots on top of it, no driver. You're in there by yourself. And it's a Lexus. Oh, there it is there. You can see it. See all the cameras on the top scanning. It's like a full camera system on the top scanning. Everyone else is so impatient because they're like Chinese roads. Here it is here, pulling up. We go to it? Yeah. Here it is, a robo taxi in Shenzhen, China. Driverless taxis. Look at that. Look at that. Cars, that's crazy. That's crazy, lad. Look at these.
That's crazy, cuz, bro. Cuz.
Crazy.
That's crazy. It's crazy. That's crazy, cuz. Bro.
To put your phone numbers.
Put your phone number in, yep.
To confirm it's you.
Yep. Look, bro, no driver. All there is a fluffy toy in front. Just a fluffy toy up front.
We are about to start. Please make sure your seatbelt is securely fastened.
Wow.
Contact us by tapping the assistance button.
This is crazy. You can see its computer system there scanning everything around. See it there? It's scanning the whole environment, you can see.
Do you know what's wrong with the driver? You know the good old-fashioned human driver? You wouldn't need this disgusting array of cameras and machinery and sensors if you just used a human who were perfectly functional. Ugh.
Okay, so menu, pull over in case something's wrong, and assistance, you'll speak to someone. Yeah, it's indicating where it's going, so we're taking a left-hand turn through there. And look how deep it can analyze. Look, every scooter, look at them all. Every car, every scooter is full analyzed. Wow. That's that big radar system on the top. I get.
Chip wheel, music.
Oh, you can put on music and everything. Yeah, nice. Look, even the people standing on the sidewalk over there, it can see every single person. Look at that. Yeah. Watching the steering wheel move is crazy. Look at this. We're taking a left-hand corner here.
Did you see that? It was actually seeing the people on the pavement. Wait a minute. It was pointing out the people wherever they were walking.
Every car.
I mean, there's one thing on the road to see people, but actually everywhere. So imagine the data that thing has to produce to capture the real-time movement of people exactly where they are.
Every scooter is full analyzed. Wow. That's that big radar system on the top. I get.
Chip wheel, music.
Oh, you can put on music and everything. Yeah, nice. Look, even the people standing on the sidewalk over there, it can see every single person. Look at that. Yeah. Watching the steering wheel move is crazy. Look at this.
Okay, anyway, it's crazy. I can't cope, right? I mean, I've put the link to this video in the chat. I'm going to say, right, our countries, England is so far behind this. They haven't even, they tried to do I think in one of the shops in London, there was an attempt to do the paylet, the like Amazon grocery. So you just have your, obviously, phone app. But this was when the lockdown was going on. And that failed miserably. I don't know. It's just horrible. We got to make sure this never goes anywhere, because this is like, okay, in a Disneyland or something for just a little short ride, it may be ha, but no, thank you. I can't think of anything worse. I said that's why there's apparently 13 million people in the city. Now, there's no way that there's 13 million people. They can't leave their apartments because they've all said something wrong. I mean, it sounds horrible. Anyway, so this guy does. His name's Spanian, and I think he has a kebab shop. I think that's some of this will be obvious to why he is the way he is. But 1.1 million subscribers. I say it was just an interesting video, cuz, bruv, bro, cuz, bruv, crazy, horrible. I'd rather stick pins in my eyes. Anyway, moving swiftly along, there's positives about the digital world, ladies and gentlemen, with the distributed ledger technology. That's why, I say, President Trump said no to that. However, he's going full bore, full steam ahead with the AI, which, I don't know. There's something weird about all this. All right. It's very spooky. So we're all led to believe China's third world country, but no. Familo, you say to the car, please drive me home. And the car drives off a bridge into the river. Yeah, not good. He is Basmati. He is too stupid to see the dystopia. I mean, part of it, he does see it, but he doesn't see it, right? He thinks it's wow and gosh and crazy, yeah. And maybe when he left, the penny dropped as to how horrendous it all would be. Every inch covered by cameras monitoring everything, all times. Ugh. Anyway, should we get back to some good news? Let's get back to XRP. Which is, of course, the distributed technology. Here we go.
Yeah, you're right that institutional adoption of XRP ledger technologies is growing. I think part of it is just the heritage of the XRP ledger that was built around enterprise and financial applications. Cross-border payments was the product that the XRP ledger was originally built for. What we were looking at back in those very, very early days was how would there be enterprise adoption of, Bitcoin was the only cryptocurrency at the time. What we think is how would there be enterprise adoption of Bitcoin? There would have to be bridges and connections, and there'd have to be, these other technologies. As far as trends and the way it's moving, real-world asset tokenization, I think, is something that I'm pretty excited about right now, because that's a real problem, and there's real interest from mainstream financial giants like J.P. Morgan and Bank of America are actively pursuing tokenization of traditional assets. So I think that's an area to watch, and I think that's an area where the XRP ledger is going to excel.
XRP ledger is going to excel. All right, so Shenzhen, let's look it up. Shenzhen. Okay, so you're saying, so Solid Crypto Nothing in the chat is saying that he believes that Shenzhen, China, is gigantic. It's not a compact city. It's spread over a huge area. Hence, that's why it seems empty by 13 million people. So let's see. Shenzhen is a prefecture, what the hell that means, level city in the province of Guangdong. I know, I think most of our electronics come from Shenzhen. China, especially, I can't help it. Whenever I talk China, actually I've done quite well not to speak Chinese accent. I saw China, China, a special economic zone. So, a special economic zone of China, SEZ, are designated areas with economic policies and regulations designed to attract foreign business. These zones have more market-oriented business regulations compared to the rest of the country. So it says, okay, so it's a population of only it's more, 17.5 million in 2020. It's COVID con, so I don't know how many they lost during COVID with the jib jab. It's the third most populous city, I was correct on that, by urban population after Shanghai and Beijing. Let's see. Let me just see where the area. Size. Let me see. Wait a minute. Here it is. History, politics, economy, industry, demographics. Not demographics. A minute. Must save the size. Here we go. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see. British Hong Kong, village of Shanghai near the border. Right, let me just see. Geographic size. Geographic size of Shenzhen. Alright. Thanks a lot. Sort of crypto, nothing. It doesn't say. Land mass. A minute, not geographic. That might be old-fashioned. What's it called? Oh God, no. Anyway, I don't know. It's big. It's big. View Shenzhen. Oh, here we go. A minute. Oh. Is that it there? What's that? Oh, I guess it is big. And wow, no, it's not. Look at the size of China. Guangzhou, Xinjiang, Shenyang, Changshan, Zhongguang, Pudong. My Chinese pronunciation very good. Very good. I'm not looking for Wuhan. I guess that's it there. Quite big. Alright, interesting. I still think it's got to do with the fact that nobody's obeying anything, so they're all confined to quarters.
So I was right.
XRP,
I took a rash of shit for 2 years, but I was right. Everyone was wrong.
I love it. That's me. So apparently the total area is 30% bigger than that. Okay, alright, okay, that's why there's not many people. Congrats to the XLM guys in the XRP community. That's why you don't listen to people about these cryptos, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody has to do their own research. Because there's a certain individual out there who has a very popular YouTube channel, and he completely trashed XLM. He slammed XLM. He said, I don't know why anybody holds XLM. It's absolutely, you know, XRP is the one. Why you would hold XLM, blah, blah, blah. I mean, I don't understand. Because Crypto Eddie did that as well. Two big people, I don't know what the hell gives them, why they tell people not to buy something. It's just weird. It's just such a risky thing. And, sorry, I just got distracted by Stella because XLM has just gone through the roof. And it's very odd how some of these people, so-called influencers, YouTubers, give their thing about trashing another coin. All right. Now this Eli Weber is a lovely man. I do like Eli Weber. And he's telling us all that everything is going to be okay. Listen to this.
I've been monitoring the thought streams for many years, let's say 7, 8 years, looking at the information that's coming forth. It seems to me quite credible that we are about to come into a week that will shatter our whole way of looking at life. People are talking about Bondi and Epstein. This is trivial. We are talking about a complete reversal in the fortune of humanity. I believe that the white hats quietly, while we've all been bickering over, is Trump right? Of course Trump is right. While we've all been bickering over the little stuff, like, little children. I mean, I wouldn't insult little children. Only adults would do such stupidity. But behind the scenes, the hard wires have been removed. and we are now coming into the era of the quantum financial system, of Starlink, of the death of the lying media. This is a complete reversal. We're coming into a great period of transformation that will be you'll look back at the next week, for the rest of your life. It's going to be amazing. You could see it in the crypto prices. I mean, that's another confirmation in my mind. XRP, the XRP, XLM, the real cryptos are going up. So this is going to be a monumental week. The quantum financial system, the emergency broadcasting system, it will not be like sirens and, duck and cover like we used to have when we were kids. It's going to be just gentle and convincing and pervasive, and the EBS will just be like direct.
Well, I'm not going to go with the EBS, the emergency broadcasting, but here's the thing, it's really weird, okay? Those of you who've been watching, I don't know if you recall, but when was it? I think it was a few months ago when President Trump was presented with that very unusual, what's it called? It was a trophy for the World Cup club football. We have the World Cup of the countries that play the World Cup, and then President Trump came up, or FIFA came up, the US hosted, which nobody heard anything about, to be honest. I didn't hear a damn thing about it. The FIFA World Club Cup, okay, for soccer. Is this today's? Hang on. Is this today's? Yeah. And, wait a minute, where's my stuff? And President Trump, so yesterday, Sunday, President Trump, suddenly it was shown that went to the finals. It was the Met Stadium, Okay, I don't know what happened to my video. Did I have it up here? Hold on, let me see. Donald Trump presented the trophy, and of course this trophy was presented to Donald Trump in the Oval Office. I don't know what happens to my stuff. I'm getting really pissed off. Oh, here we go. Here it is. Right. So Donald Trump yesterday, the 13th of July, went to the finals. I only know one team, which was Chelsea, who won it, because this is the World Cup club, top clubs in soccer/football, who played against each other over a period of, I guess it was a couple of weeks. I don't even know. But yesterday, President Trump attended the finals, and he presented the trophy to the winning club, which again probably went under most people's radars. I don't know. Put a 1 in the chat if you knew this happened yesterday with Donald Trump.
Chelsea are the 2025 FIFA Club World Cup champions.
So, I think it's very curious. Okay, we know, so there's that trophy, which of course we went into that. People went into the whole design of this trophy and the whole thing to do with the quantum financial system. What was it? There was a summit, crypto summit at the White House, and President Trump, that was the same day, President Trump showed this to the people, and he was given a key. And it's all just a bit, it's going over most people's heads. Nobody knows about this. But then there's this that's attached to the thread, right, to do with this trophy. Now, of course, I like to believe that this is true, although, the realist in me is skeptical. I would love for this to be so, the whole idea of Project Looking Glass. I really do want to believe it, right? And it seems like all the ducks are getting in a row with regards to the crypto, the financial system being reset, the Fed suddenly giving the green light to things today. Yesterday, him giving them this trophy, awarding this special trophy. And then there's, I'll play this video for you that I played this morning, if I can. Right? So Project Looking Glass was a government operation that was used to look forward and backward in time. The device used was said to look like the device on Jodie Foster's Contact. Now, see if I can get this to work. Hang on, let me just go here. Actually, I'll have to click on... man. Let me see if I can get this. I'm going to get the link. Right, and this morning, it was very, very curious because I was talking about when Admiral Byrd came up, right, in Antarctica. I'll go into it in a minute. I'm not going to play the whole video of this.
Of Project Looking.
This is on my website, so you can go to and find it.
Glass. A human being is about this tall. This is built in underground bases. It is colossal in size. And what happens is when you fire this thing up, these rings start going in all different directions. It shields off the barrel of water inside, which is just like your pineal gland. The water inside flips over into time-space, which then captures argon gas, captures visual images, and this is what it looks like. It becomes huge, glowing, all the way out to these posts, which are used as stabilizers for the energy field. Now, it doesn't start out with an image of the Earth. That's just there as a placeholder, although you could see the whole Earth like that if you wanted to. That's not usually what happens. Well, contact, right? We have been given the technology right in front of our faces in the movies. They just don't tell you what it's for. In what? 13 Ghosts? Well, thank you. I'll have to check that one out. Doesn't sound like a movie I'd want to see, but if it's for that... Oh, I can imagine. So, Contact, just to recap from yesterday, blueprints come in from the Vegans, from Vega. They figure out that it's only when you fold up these patterns into a cube, which forms what there in the center, the triangle with the eye in the middle, as it folds up. Cube geometry. That's when you can decode the plans to build this, these rings, which becomes this machine. And there's your little helicopter. So there's another shot of it. They got computer animations of how it's going to work with the different rings moving. This actually looks like the fisheye lens distortion effect that happens around the looking glass when you power it on. There's a gantry crane up at the top, and the little guy is dropped down and goes inside. That's like your barrel inside the mechanism there. And this is where all the action happens. This is where the Stargate opens, the wormhole into the higher realms. In this frame, we're seeing how the whole thing collapsed and fell apart. So, of course, you want to take a ride. You know, the new the new formation of the one after the old one breaks. And here we're seeing the new one. Once again, you get a very clear view, and there's your little eye with the rays coming off it, just like the all-seeing eye on the dollar. Not surprising. Here she is. It's even larger than the real one, standing on this ladder, looking down inside. This is the chamber and the chair inside, which we'll see is very important. And here's your geometry. Look at that. Did anybody notice that when you were watching the movie? Because it goes by pretty fast. That's that same geometry that's in the background radiation of the whole universe with the sphere in the center. They fire it up. Guess what happens? Big, bright luminosity, just like the real thing. The real thing that they're actually using and have been using since the 40s at least. And here's what it looked like from the control room. It gets brighter and brighter, and then she starts having the floor disappear. She gets dropped down inside, and then, of course, she goes through this wild wormhole ride, and there's an ascension experience at the end of the dream. The Iraq War had, to a large degree, the mission of capturing a looking glass technology that was dug up in Sumer, which was originally in the possession of Gaddafi in Libya, which is why they attacked Libya. Gaddafi got rid of it and gave it to Saddam Hussein. Saddam Hussein was using this technology, viewing the future. The U.S. government went in after him because they felt that the fate of the world was at stake, because if they did not capture this technology and get it back and deconstruct it, that the Earth would have a pole shift. But when you actually decipher these letters, it means the doctrine of the convergent timeline paradox. Here's the problem. You look through time with this device, and when you hit 2012, everything goes perfectly white.
Do you remember this? Do you remember hearing about this, that 2012 was supposed to be the end times, and that, I've had this discussion before about them, that they kept on apparently looking at this, looking through it, and trying to manipulate things, or they were able to see, to a certain degree, this is the powers that be, the Illuminati, whatever the hell these people in power had control, this few, and, if they did some sort of manipulation of some type, they could sort of have a different outcome. But when it came to 2012, no matter what they did, no matter which combination, whatever they tried, it just nothing would be produced. And of course, the theory is that is all to do with the Great Awakening, is because the people woke up back in, around that time. So all this, it became defunct as far as a tool to see or to alter how you behave, or how they try to manipulate humanity. This is so surreal, isn't it? It's very surreal.
As you get closer and closer to 2012, starting in around 1980, a very strange thing has been happening when they use the looking glass. There is an interlacing of images. So right now, imagine that if I had this slide on half the time, and then the other half of the time there was an image of like a face. And if I interlace them slowly, then maybe every second it goes from here to the face to here to the face. Then as it speeds up, it gets faster and faster to the point that if it were complex images, you couldn't make out one from the other because they're flip-flopping so fast. Okay? That's called interlacing, and the frequency of the interlacing gets higher and higher as you go towards 2012. So anytime that they try to look at, or they used to try to look, because they're not using them anymore, 2009, 2010, 2011, 2012, bam. It's so interlaced that they have a whole server farm of computers just to deconstruct the two images and be able to see what they're looking at in the future.
I'll give you that in a minute.
So again, this is what they're using. This is one of the main ones they're using, the Orion Cube as they call it, or the Cube. And also it's being used with looking glass. But what's going on with 2012? Well, here's another very interesting thing. We have multiple parallel futures that we can choose.
There we go.
And 2012 literally does represent create your own reality time. It has everything to do with what do you expect is going to happen. This is where thoughts becoming reality really takes on a whole new meaning in a way that you've never heard of before. So what they found that was so bizarre was that at December 21st, 2012, they could calculate it down to the day, that's how precise this was, that for some reason all the graphs, all the waves would go into a complete flat line. They no longer moved up and down like before. They went flat for like 7 or 8 seconds. So then they're asking the guys that went through these stargates and were traveling into the future, what happened to you? Every single time that somebody tried to hit 2012, they said the same thing. There was this thing they called the bump. It actually hits you like a bump. You actually feel like you've slammed into something. And as soon as it slams into you, you have the most incredible religious experience you can imagine. Cosmic consciousness. Your consciousness just blasts into this wonderful place where you have awareness of no space, no time. All knowledge is available to you. Ecstatic God consciousness. You could be the galaxy, you could be a subatomic particle, you can go everywhere, do everything, and there's no sense of it ever ending. So when it finally stops, you just can't even believe that you're back to who you were before.
Like what happened to Jodie Foster?
Exactly what happens to Jodie Foster in Contact. So, that's the zero time, yeah. And Daniel doesn't agree with me on this, but I believe that 2012 is our zero time reference.
Interesting. So anyway, so that I saw obviously the trophy that President Trump presented yesterday. It is interesting how yesterday was the date for that trophy to be presented. Okay, and there's, as I say, the connection with that trophy as to something much more surreal, really. Now, I mentioned Admiral Byrd this morning, and Wayne the Pain gave me the link to Admiral Byrd's PDF, which I hadn't seen before. And I thought that does this not look like that? I mean, in a sort of, if you, with a bit of imagination, that trophy, which of course, you know, is like an image of the Project Looking Glass, the whole, I don't know, it's just, I like this kind of stuff. All the stuff with Pam Bondi and that's all distraction, guys. All the minutiae of the events going on in the world, that is all set to just cause you frustration and distraction. This to me is much more much more stimulating to my mind, because this is the possibilities of what are, as opposed to the fake news that is just being spewed out there and the manipulation. Anyway, I think this resembles that image that Admiral Byrd has on the front of his book. I believe that this is something to do with the quantum financial system, quantum QFS, where we are, which has just been pretty much launched today. I mean, it's just so, the possibilities, I think, are just absolutely very, very exciting. Or we could look at Brigitte, what's her face, or Bob Macron, who the doctor who was interviewed, one of the doctors who was involved with the transition of this man to a woman, who happened to die a few weeks later, was suicided. You know, this weird thing that Macron's in England and he was given a state dinner and just all the pomp and circumstance when, you know, I mean, it's just rubbish, right? Yesterday was the Wimbledon final. I don't care. I really, there's so many things I don't care about. A lot of things I do care about are the catastrophes that are going on in Europe and in England and in the United Kingdom with the jihad that is being waged against us. And you know, it's just everything is backwards in our country. It was what was going on in the States with the whole, you know, what's good is bad, bad is good. What was truth, what used to be truth is, you know, lies are treated as truth and truth as lies. You know, we are there in the dystopia of the Orwellian hell in that sense. But I see in America and with Donald Trump, I believe that he's implementing, hopefully, he and the white hats are you know, are going to win. And so I had that, the Eli, I played his little clip. You know, there's a lot of people out there who absolutely are just priceless with what they talk about. And, you know, here as well, another link that Wayne the Pain gave me was to the Houndboo, the Secret Files, the greatest UFO secret of all time. These I'm going to post on my website for today's content. All right, I'll put those on there. Family Low Indie Live just mentioned this film, which is called The Last Mimsy, and it seems as though there somehow there is a link to this film, which I put actually in the chat. I'll try and remember to save that as well. And also at the start of my show, start of my notes, I have this post by Red Pill Drifter about the 12 Monkeys film, which I never saw. And it was apparently predictive programming of the COVID pandemic. Now with Bruce Willis and whoever else in, I can't remember what year the film is. But anyway, I found it on YouTube, so I've actually posted the link. I haven't seen 12 Monkeys either. There's so many films I haven't seen. There's a lot of films I don't want to see, but I suppose I'm going to force myself to watch that one just to see the predictive programming. That all the films that we've ever been shown have been to do with that, to manipulate our minds and to have us get sort of put these subliminal thoughts in our heads for the future events that are going to happen. And then of course, it's just weird. We're really in just absolutely incredible times. I feel like you know, I'm familiar with the Matrix. You know, we are in a Matrix, and obviously I feel like I've stepped out of the Matrix mentally. But I can dip in and out. I mean, there was a point just not that long ago when I was almost black-pilled. I mean, it is still, actually, I have to say, I am struggling to take pleasure in any kind of normal activity in in my world with regards to, you know, the idea of going out, you know, it's all, anyway, I'm not going down that road. All right, so XRP, baby, let's just take a look at the crypto space, and I'm going to check tonight on the progress. I don't think I've got ChatGPT on this computer, so I can't see how our cryptos, how the bill went in the House today. Yeah, no. Let's see. Let's see if I can see. How... Let me just. I'm just doing. Let's see. I'm getting an answer from ChatGPT. Okay. So this is to do with first bill that I mentioned. So no final votes have occurred yet today. The House has entered what's been branded Crypto Week and is preparing to vote midweek on key legislation. Okay, so all right, so there's no wait. Today's session has seen debate and preparation, but no votes on the crypto bills yet. But that's not due till tomorrow anyway. Keep an eye on clarity. Yeah, okay. Well, in actual fact, I am. Whilst you're with me, I'm going to check on House debates. Let me see. Let's see if there's anything in there about 2 days ago, 2 hours ago. No. Oh wait. That was a year ago. Congress, Crypto Week. I'm just looking. See, the problem is, of course, with YouTube is that they don't put things in chronological order at all. I'm not sure how they put them in YouTube, but you really have to go and you know, go scroll down, just keep scrolling until you see something, because they have things from 3 weeks ago, from 4 years ago, from oh wait, hold on. Crypto Week on Capitol Hill. No. 3 days ago. 3 years. 3 years. I was just quickly seeing if there was. Let's see if I'll do Maxine Waters. I just wanted to see if there was anything, you know, anything dramatic in the House today. That was a year ago, 2 months ago, 2 months ago, a year, 10 years, 4 years, 5 months, 2 years, 3 years, 6. So I mean.
Part of what's driving this big rally in crypto is obviously this momentum on Capitol Hill. Walk us through the nuts and bolts of what these bills could do for the crypto industry in a tangible way.
So the Genius Act, which already passed the Senate, would effectively legalize stable coins. These are cryptocurrencies that are backed by US dollars. They're already quite popular, but their status in the US was kind of in a gray area. If they're fully legalized, we might see more mainstream financial institutions get into that business. Then we've got the Clarity Act, which is about the rest of crypto. The Trump administration has already dropped a lot of lawsuits that the Biden administration had brought against crypto companies, sort of letting it be trading free-for-all. Now this law would kind of codify that. I think people are optimistic in the industry. This means that crypto could kind of be legalized long-term in the US.
I mean, so that speaks to the likelihood of perhaps these actually passing, because some of these are still up for debate on the House floor. What kind of consensus or even disagreements are we seeing among Democrats and Republicans?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of wild that these bills have even got here. If you go look at like the list of laws that Congress has passed this term, this will be, other than the budget, if these pass, these would be the first substantive laws that Congress has passed this term. And I think the reason behind that's pretty obvious. Crypto industry gave $150 million last cycle to...
Okay, anyway, the XRP has not hit an all-time high, just so you know, Quantum Respawn. Thank you for that information, but XRP did not. 290 is not an all-time high. It's 392, I believe, was the all-time high. Yeah, so it looks like you're looking at ChatGPT for your answers. And I do have all that. Thank you so much for that. I do have most of that in my crypto news week on my website. So listen, I was going to talk about the, you know what, there's so much. I just don't have enough time in the day. Observing consciousness. Okay, this is another positive spin on things. Right, it looks like a lot of people are being cleared out still. President Trump's got the green light to get rid of people, you know, access to requirements, which is a very good thing for us. What was I looking at? I wanted to show something to you. No, it's not there. Hang on. Let me just find. Oh wait, I think it's here. No, it's not that one. My apologies. Observing consciousness. Okay, I really like observing consciousness. Observing consciousness is where I got the Palantir Canon series, and which I do have on my website on a few. I can't remember what the date is for it, but I have a one web page dedicated to the Palantir. Let me just see. And I was going to read these out. I just don't have enough time. You know, I don't have enough time in a show to read to you. You know, as much as I would like to. You know, it just does take a lot of time to read things out. So this is it here, dated. It's posted on the 29th of June. So I'm going to add the 7, right? It's the Palantir Canon, the mirror that captured the machine. So the fact that the mirror that the dark side used, the Palantir, to hoover up all information from everyone of everything, and according to the observing consciousness and others, the white hats managed to flip that information and flip the mirror around to show the bad guys, to reveal all of their secrets, and hence why everything has been extremely quite rapid in exposure, such as Doge, the success of Doge, why it was able to just sort of manage to produce a whole shed ton of data of where all the money went, all of the NGOs and all that good stuff, the USAID. I have a sense that this is what the white hats used, is part of this machine. Anyway, it's now on Series 7. I don't know what I'm going to do. I would like to read this out to you because I do enjoy it, and I haven't read it myself, but I've read the first, you know, I've read the first part of it, and it's just my kind of thing to really, you know, have this sort of positivity factor, which I think we need, and I think it's a bit woo-woo, and I like the woo-woo because it's possible it might be, right? So this Observing Consciousness posted today, the DoD just gave xAI and Grok a $200 million contract to quote-unquote modernize defense, but this isn't modernization, it's reclamation. Trump's white hats are syncing xAI with Palantir and Starlink. They're not upgrading the system, they're taking it back. Okay? So, Observing Consciousness said, let's zoom out, shall we? What would we really see? Ever wonder? So let's do it. A thread. Let's zoom way out. Not 30,000 feet, not the moon. We're going to Mars. And now that we're out here, looking back at Earth like it's just a blinking blue node in the dark, you can finally see it, clear, unfiltered, undeniable. A new grid is being built right now. You can see it from the headlines, but from here, from Mars, it's everywhere. Truth-coded comms, open source intelligence, parallel economies, the BRICS and blockchain, decentralized podcasts, substacks, and shows, energetic warriors doing breath work, cold plunges, fasts, grounding, parents unplugging their kids, farmers stepping out of the system, empaths reclaiming their frequency. You are watching the birth of the living grid, not one of control, but of coherence. It's not built in code, it's built in remembrance. I mean, it's true. It's my own personal experience, ladies and gentlemen. I've tried grounding. I feel like I'm going through, I genuinely do, a spiritual awakening, a spiritual realization of this where we are and what we're going through, and this sort of incredible connection that we all have electrically and cosmically. I mean, my goodness me, this is what I want to focus on, because I feel it's true, right? Our electrical signals, how the dark side tried to block them out with the pandemic, how we broke through those chains, because I believe that the pandemic, the COVID con was them doing a bit of a China control, and it was the spell was broken. And so, you know, I'm choosing to believe that we're going to be using this technology for the better. And I do believe, I'm choosing to believe the positive of this. And you know, it all seems to be coming together. The timing is just astonishing. So from Mars, You finally remember why you came. You didn't come to fix the system. You came to transcend it, to walk through the fire and remember yourself on the other side, to anchor God's light into the form, to become the antenna again, because one human, fully awake, fully... I mean, honestly, I haven't read this. I haven't read through this piece right now, but I'm almost going to break down in tears. I genuinely... I don't think I can read these words out. I'm telling him, this is just spooky. Just for my own journey of my challenging of the system and knowing that I was right, taking on the government, taking on the police, taking on the system. And okay, I didn't win because I ended up in prison, but I felt I won morally because I didn't admit any guilt because I knew I'd done nothing wrong. This is interesting, right? Fully awake, fully sovereign, and fully in love with the truth. That's all that matters. For me, I'm so adamant about the truth. The truth is what everything is grounded on. And all that's been successfully, put out there, people have just sort of let themselves be led and guided by lies and deception, which of course confuses them. The whole thing with the Gaza thing, that is just a big fat fake out. Not that people aren't suffering, because I'm sure people are, because we are all cannon fodder for this dark agenda. Just understand that. Anyway, fully in love with the truth is more powerful than 1,000 corrupt systems. So what do we see from Mars? We see the truth, that this was never a fight for land, money, or power. This was a war for the human template, a war for the memory of God inside each soul. And we're winning, not by force, but by frequency. God frequency. Wow. Trump's AI strategy is not a tech move. It's the final link, because I'm concerned about the AI, right? His AI, I just mentioned that earlier. But according to Observing Consciousness, which may not be right, but, what the possibility? Go with it. What might be? I don't know. So Trump's AI strategy isn't a tech move. It's the final link in the white hat chain. This isn't about Grok or Palantir or Starlink. It's about activating a global AI grid quietly built during the silent war. Palantir runs the nerves. Starlink runs the comms. Grok brings the voice. Anduril moves the muscle. Doge rewires the bureaucracy. Together they form a sovereign AI architecture designed for one purpose, to bypass the captured systems. Trump just flipped the switch. Every agency now has access to Grok. Every node synced through Palantir. Every front line linked by Starlink. Now the global D-class pipeline is powered by real-time cognitive agents. What looks like policy is actually a convergence. What looks like a defense contract is a trigger. This is continuity of government evolving the continuity of consciousness. Narratives, wars, currency flows, even public perception, now mapped, modeled, and mirrored through a white hat-controlled intelligence stack. This is the new operating system. The deep state played with data. The patriots built the grid. You're not watching a tech rollout. You're witnessing the keystone drop into place. So this was posted. Eric Doherty said, breaking, President Trump's Department of Defense announces a deal with Elon Musk's XAI. So there's the Grok. And Observing Consciousness said that Tucker Carlson just said what everyone in DC already knows but won't say out loud. Epstein was likely a Mossad asset during running a... I'm not going to go down the Epstein thing. But anyway. So Quantum is saying that when you try to ground, nothing heals you. Well, you know what? I mean, I'm so sorry for your suffering, Quantum Respawn. And I absolutely have absolutely every intention to get Berkshire Island up and running. And, it's obviously not going to be, I don't know. My intention is to get all of the tech that is out there that's available to help health and to try to regenerate and assist in that sense, to just help the body repair. And that's what's people are saying, enough different people are saying that it's out there, and knowing what we're constructed of, which are cells and electrical nodes and all kinds of stuff, possible. Anyway, Sonic Crypto Nothing, XRP baby, all about the solar farts. The whole, I say, I played something the other day about President Trump and I don't know now. Sonic Crypto Nothing has just thrown me off with the solar farts. He's convinced that what the sun is doing is causing all this weather crap. I do believe that it's the dark side forces that are trying to punish President Trump and all the people who support him. And here's just a very nice little video of the firemen who met President Trump and Melania, and the firemen, being true gentlemen that they are, removed their hats as they shook Melania's hand. That's a wonderful gentlemanly behavior. Anyway, look, I've been going on now for 2 hours almost. No, right, yeah, hour and 40 minutes. It's just horrendous, right, what's going on. I haven't looked into too much of that. It's just a terrible tragedies going on with this weather fair. I believe it's the dark side trying to just take everything out. But again, I'm going to go with the positive aspect, where as positive you can take out of it is the white hats are winning. This is Marco Rubio's cleaning house at the State Department, and personnel lined up to send off fellow employees. 1,300 people are leaving. Oh, that's hilarious, right? Bye-bye. Oh, you know what? I think they should, every single individual who's clapping for somebody walking out, they should all be given their cards as well. I mean, they could all bloody well go, to be honest with you. Donald Trump can run the country. Anyway, okay, so on that note, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna wrap it up for you. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's show. I am gonna add to my today's notes the Admiral Byrd PDF and the other PDF that was mentioned, and the other videos. So today's video, it might be very interesting if you'd like to check it out. If you want to check it out, feel free, but give me a bit of time to put it all together, because it's going to take me a little bit. So thank you for joining me tonight. I don't know what's happened to my chat now. I've got the wrong tabs open, and tomorrow should be interesting in the house. I haven't got enough tabs here. I haven't got enough things open. I'm being sarcastic. Oh, there we go. That's what I want. Oh, no, that's what. Okay, I have got too many. No, it's not that one. I want this one. Oh, I've definitely got way too many tabs open. Don't look. Oh, man. I'm going to sort this out tonight. Don't you worry. Is it any wonder I can find anything on this computer? Okay. Wait a minute. Whose birthday is it? Whose birthday is it? Happy birthday, son. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Beach Bear's son. Happy birthday to you and many more. There you go. That's the best I could do. A lot of birthdays in July, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of birthdays. Mine's in June, so missed that one. All right. Listen, have a great evening or afternoon or wherever you are in the world. Don't have nightmares, but do please remember that if you tolerate this, then your children will be next. And I am choosing, I'm choosing positivity. Now, as I'm leaving on, again, a positive note, we're looking, there's no all-time highs now, so I'm as sober as a judge. 24 Hours Crypto has said his latest video is, oh my God, they know internally that XRP holders will create generational wealth. Must see if you own XRP. So I'll put this link into the chat for you later, and I'd recommend you watch it later, those XRP holders out there. And I'd like to congratulate each and every one of you. If you have, we are on our way to generational wealth. So until the next time, boys and girls, based Amy, out.
Of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward.
There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. RP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over SWIFT one day?
Well,
and crypto has certainly caught many's attention, and they've made a lot of money doing it. I have not bought crypto, and now I feel silly. So they've been the ones making all this money on.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of 24 Hours in Crypto. Let's get right in today's video. XRP is handsomely trading at $2.94. Remember those days? Those 50 cents to 20 cents. Let's get to $1 first, they said in the comments. And now we're at $3 and retail is priced out. And I'm going to give you a very clear explanation of individuals entering now are done. It is absolutely done. And I'm not trying to, ruin anybody's hope. But maybe you could take this as a learning opportunity instead of looking at it negatively. Because accumulating crypto, it is done. It is absolutely done. I'm going to break it down to you and you're going to understand it. And I want your thoughts in the comments down below. Okay. First of all, we have to cover something monumental that has gone under the radar. And that is Mr. Let's get his full name on LinkedIn, Mr. Tomoya Asakura. Tomoya Asakura was previously the CEO of Morningstar Japan. Morningstar, Morningstar is well known in the financial ecosystem. Okay, when I did private banking, our advisors would get a list of pretty much data and everything that they need to pitch to their customers and our clients, right? Morningstar would do all the research. They would rate the stocks from A to D, and whatever they thought it was good, these wealth advisors would just relay it over to our clients. Okay, so, and the fact that he's coming out here and saying this, are you ready for this? He said that it's translated into English. This is not another crypto. He's referring to XRP. This is the wealth transfer of our generation. And things are picking up. And when you have Tomoya coming out and saying that, okay, previously the CEO of Morningstar, and now he's working with SBI, and SBI has been working with Ripple and XRP for a very, very long time. You guys and we are in for a wild ride. But let's talk about the important part here. Let's talk about how retail investors are officially priced out. Generational wealth in crypto was built by people who got in early. And we were often buying these assets at pennies, a few dollars, while everyone else laughed or ignored us. Now, we're at a point where the average person waking up today, deciding to finally get into crypto with, let's say, $10,000, okay, let's say they own zero, is basically late to the game unless they make a very specific high conviction bet, okay? Here's the problem. A lot of people coming in today with 10K think they're being smart by splitting it. Let's say 5K into XRP and 5K into Bitcoin. But let's look at the numbers here. Let's see what makes sense. And also, I want to kind of compare before I get into this little breakdown of prices back in the bull market back in 2018 was when it was purely based off of speculation, okay? So on the right here, we have the prices from 2018. XRP's at $3.37. Currently, XRP's at $2.95. Keep in mind, when XRP was at $3.37, it was purely nothing. It was garbage. It was garbage. There was no partnerships at this scale. The Federal Reserve, there was absolutely no rails. There was no clear instructions at all. And XRP right now is at $2.95. And look at where Bitcoin is right now, $120,000, and previously was at $16,000. And to this date, we still don't know what problem Bitcoin solves.
So let's fast forward to the future, and Bitcoin has failed. How did it fail?
I think it fails through irrelevance. Like it fails to be relevant to people on a daily basis. If it just ends up being store value and nothing more, I don't think it gains relevance at all. Like I think it has to be payments for it to be relevant on the everyday. Otherwise, it's just something you kind of buy and forget and only use in emergency situations or when you want to get liquid again. So I think if it doesn't transition to payments and find that everyday use